Hello and welcome to You and Me Creamery. My name is Delaney Drake. I am the head farmer here at the creamery. I milk the sheep and I make the dairy products. And today we are going to be talking about sheep milk soap. And before we get into any of it, talking about what we have and what's coming down the pipeline, I wanted to ask you all what's your favorite, or even what is the most romantic scent you guys like. I didn't really have like a specific romantic scent until I was pregnant with my second, and there were these two smells, you know, because you're pregnant and it's all heightened, that just hit me, and I just was like, oh my gosh, I love this. And it was, and it's the weirdest thing, but it was wet hay. I was majorly pregnant in October, and we were doing all like the hay mazes, or it was a hay maze, and the hay got wet because we're in Tennessee and it's, you know, moist and wet, and I just was like, whoa, I really like the smell of wet hay, which it seems appropriate since I'm a farmer. And then the second one was cigars. I did not grow up around smokers at all. But my husband and I, when I was pregnant, went to a concert and someone was smoking a cigar, and it just hit me, and I just was like, ooh, man, I really like that smell. So if you guys have something where you're like, oh, that smell, that just is the most romantic smell I have ever smelt, put it in the comments below. I'm really curious what others think. I've got the weird ones. I mean, cigar smoke, I think, is something that is kind of familiar for everybody, but wet hay, I know, is just kind of like, kind of weird and out there. But I'd really be interested to hear what you guys say. And so today, I just wanted to hop on. We are in full soap making gear. I'm also into big cheese making gear for my Herdshare members. But for the general public, we are doing our soap. And so we do sheep's milk soap. So it takes our sheep's milk and we put it into the soap in the soap making process. And this year we wanted to kind of do some stuff that was very Valentine's Day themed. Stuff that would pair really well together, whether it's a man and a woman smell. And so one of the things that we did was, I have two bars that are sort of potentially be like a pair, like a couple soap. And so I'm going to show you them right now. You can kind of see some of them in the background, but I'm going to have something that's a little closer up. And I'll do the men's first because it's the most recent that we've done. And so we have our Kentucky Bourbon. And so this is our Kentucky Bourbon. It's a really, really nice smell. Yeah, and it's very, very, I would say masculine, but I really like masculine smells too. So I don't know, it's probably for whoever really likes sort of an alcoholic raw smell. I'm not very good at explaining the type of like nuances in smells. I'm usually one of those people who is like, I like it or I don't. But yeah, this is Kentucky Bourbon, and it is very much like a smell that I think a man or a woman would really, really enjoy. And so I went very basic on the design. My husband in particular is like, don't go fancy. So I mean, the swirls is as fancy as he probably would go for like a man's soap. So I had kind of a man's eye for something like this, something simple, maybe with a little bit of detail, but mostly just really, really good smelling. And then the kind of pairing, and you can kind of see I went with the same sort of marble texture on both, is a dewy rose with a little stone, and it's a heart-shaped stone. A lot of these times these stones are called worry stones, and you're supposed to use them between your fingers and rub them, and it kind of is something to help relieve stress. And I really, really like that, especially for a Valentine's like soothing calm, but also romantic. So this one is, like I said, smells of rose, has a little bit of a little heart stone in it, and then if you, I don't know, it's hard to tell, but there's a little bit of Himalayan pink sea salt sprinkled on the top. So it has a little bit of an exfoliating part to this one as well. And this one is just, if you haven't figured it out by like the masculine smells that I was mentioning, I'm not a super flowery girl, but this has such that subtle rose that I absolutely love this. I think this might be my favorite design, favorite bar of all of the ones we've done. And I'm not even that much of a lot of people are like, you're not a girly girl. But, you know, you don't have to be, you know, someone who wears high heels and has her hair all done up to enjoy and appreciate something that's very, very beautiful. And so this one is definitely for those girly girls out there, but also for those like me who aren't so girly, but do every once in a while. And so those are the two that are really good pairing, mostly because the design, again, is the same. The rose and the Kentucky bourbon are also pretty subtle, so they don't like cancel each other out. But it's a really good like husband-wife pairing, or just a couples pairing who likes more of the flowery versus the a little bit more subtle, more masculine smells. And so the last one we have actually made, I have a few in the works that are currently getting worked on, so I don't actually have them to show you. But one of the ones I do have is our no scent bar. So let's see. I wish I had, it's kind of an overcast day today, so I don't have as much light. So I don't know how much this is coming through, but this is a basic bar. It has no scents. It has no colorants. It is basically sheep's milk with coffee grounds infused in them. So that's what all the little dots are, is coffee grounds, and I sprinkled a little bit on top as well. You can smell a little bit of coffee, but it's really, really subtle. Mostly it's just for exfoliating. So this bar is really, really good for someone who is sensitive to smells, sensitive to maybe dyes, like their skin breaks out and stuff like that. And it's also really good for someone who's just not into things that smell. I mean, yeah, there's like no smell to the basic bar. You can smell a little bit of coffee on the top, but it's not strong at all. So this one is for someone who really, really likes the moisturizing effect that the sheep's milk has on it, as well as the exfoliating exfoliating capabilities of the ground coffee. And then what we also have is, and this is like, oh my gosh, I am just gushing and gooing over this, and it's probably the most ridiculous thing. But we actually, I'm trying to get the right angle. I got a mold for Christmas that is a sheep. And so I actually have a few made here. This is the one, this was made with the no scent batter. So this is the one that's just basic with coffee grounds in it. That's what those little dots are. And then what I do have, and I kept him over here, her over here, is I made one with the marbled Kentucky bourbon. So this one actually does have a scent to it. And I mean, I just can't get over these guys. I mean, hold on, where's the camera? There it is. I mean, aren't they just the cutest thing? Oh my goodness. They even have like little tails, little bulbs for their tails. It's just, it drives me crazy with how cute these guys are. I'm planning to make another bar of the rose one, so there will be probably at least one of these little sheepies in the the Dewy Rose scent, and with the pink color and the swirl and everything. The other thing, so that's the other thing that's coming down the pipeline, is we're going to do more of the girls. So, you know, it's Valentine's Day, so there's going to be a lot more of the pink, flowery, girly ones. For those who are buying something for their sweetheart, but also for the girls out there who are single and just want to be pampered. I was one of those girls for years who would hang out with their girlfriends on Valentine's Day, and was it Galentine's Day? And this kind of pink soap would be perfect to give as a present for one of your girlfriends who's been having a rough time or something and just needs a little bit of pampering. So we're going to be making a lot, at least 2 or 3 bars of the pink one, just because I want to celebrate the men and the women who are married and who are in love, but also I want to celebrate the girls out there. We also have the boys bars. We have a second boy bar coming up that is perfect for a guy. But I don't know if men really do the Galentine's Day thing that girls do. If they do, let me know what it's called, because I have no idea. If the men have a version of a Galentine's Day for Valentine's Day, I honestly don't know. We have, obviously, our bars are really great for anybody who is single and just wants to have a really nice smelling bar. But this kind of grouping is more for the Valentine's Day people, the people who want to celebrate it, whether it's, you know, because you have a significant other or just because you want to celebrate being a girl and pampering yourself. The second, third, fourth, I don't even know what number we're on. But the bar that is going to be the newest one that I don't actually have a model of is we're actually going to do, let me see if I can find it, a sandalwood. So this is Sensuous Sandalwood. So I'm going to be doing sort of a bar that's similar probably to this one, the one with the coffee grounds. But with the sandalwood scent. So it's actually going to have a smell to it. Like these guys with the nose scents, those are going to be, I think it's going to be exactly the same. I might add a little color. I'm not sure. But it's going to be kind of a really good pairing, I think, as well with the pink bars. And it's a very subtle smell, too. If you haven't noticed, I really like smells that are very mild. Like they smell really good, but they don't hit you in the face with it. I am not a huge fan of that. Every once in a while, you'll hit a smell like that's that strong, and you're like, "Ooh, okay, that's okay." But for the most part, I don't love smells to hit you in the face. I love ones that are subtle and that you kind of get a smooth kind of whiff of, and you're like, ooh, that smells really good. And so, yeah, if you guys have any questions for me about the soap, where it's going to be available, we have a few of our herd share members, as well as a few friends and family who are going to get first choice just because the herd share members always get first choice of whatever we make, but the friends and family kind of have been putting in orders as I'm making it. So if we have any bars left over, then we are going to be posting it on our Facebook page, Ewe and Me Creamery, EWE and Me Creamery, for anyone who's interested in the soaps. We don't really ship. This would be a pickup situation. We just aren't at the capacity that we need to be for shipping to make sense. So until we're able to make a lot more bars, it's all going to be kind of local pickup. So local would be Murfreesboro, Tennessee is where we're located. I have a lot of people who come into Murfreesboro and like for business and stuff like that. So you don't have to be located in Murfreesboro, obviously. You can be in the surrounding areas. But that's kind of where our soap is being sold. So anyway, thank you guys so much for joining me. I have really enjoyed sharing some of the stuff we have available. If anyone is local and interested in other scents, kind of post Valentine's Day, because again, a lot of these scents can be bought after. They're not specifically Valentine's Day. I mean, the Dewy Rose, the Kentucky Bourbon, all of those are scents that are really good year round. We just went through our Christmas selection, and those are a little bit more specific to Christmas. Whereas a lot of these scents we'll be doing, we'll probably be doing, depending on their popularity, we'll be doing it throughout the year. So if you are interested in any of these, and it's either after Valentine's Day or by the time you contact me, we are out, you can put an order in, and I will be probably continually making some of these as the year goes on. Thank you again for joining me, and I hope you have a wonderful Wednesday. If you have any questions, just email me at Ewe and Me Creamery. Oh, nope, that's the name. The email is ewandmehomestead.creamery@gmail.com. That is for soap. That is for anyone interested in becoming a herd share member for just direct milk. And who knows, maybe we'll have some soap classes and other classes down the pipeline. But for now, thanks for joining me. Have a great day.